Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we're talking about NOEL. It is a starter guide for NOEL. My final main in the game so far. I probably will play other characters in the future, but right now I'm playing NOEL, Shiki, and Koma, so I have the guides for them first, of course. So let's talk about NOEL. 5A, of course, hit to the normals first. 5A, 2A. Her 5A is 5 frames, right? 2A is 6 frames, and her 5A goes slightly farther than her 2A, right? So there's your 2A, right? There's your 5A. So it goes a little bit farther, and it's a 5 frame button, so obviously the better of the faster lights, or the lights in general. Jump A, pretty standard stuff. 5B is a little interesting. It's kind of mainly combo fodder because it does have a high vertical hitbox, so you can do for certain combos that you need to get that height for, like right there, right? See how high it goes? Right? Mainly combo fodder. You're not really gonna be using it in neutral or anything like that. It's quite slow too, or not slow, but it's like recovery is pretty high. It's like -10 on block, so not the best button in neutral. This button though, her 2B, is quite good. Her 2B has 2 hits to it. The first one has like a pretty decent vertical hitbox, which is good for combos like this, right? So it has combo potential. But the second hit is just her farthest normal in the game, or one of the farthest normals in the game, I think. Like this normal is insane. It's definitely her farthest normal, even farther than her C's, honestly. It's really good, and the second hit doesn't come out that slow, so it's like it's hard to see. Like you're not gonna really react to it that fast. It's not. It's quite the good button. Jump B, pretty good button, right? You could use it for like for air dashes, because your air dash is kind of floaty, for like some double overhead shenanigans that I'll show you a little bit later. Her C's though, her C's are interesting. Her C, 2C is like a really good button. Sweep, pretty standard. Her 5C though goes a little bit farther, and it vacuums people in, right? It pulls them in, which will come into play later for like pressure game. It's quite the good button as well. So let's say you need to get a little bit closer for that 2C, right? It pulls you in the perfect range to do it. You got to change the combos a little bit, obviously. Her 2C, 5C is a little bit better for combos, but 5C is quite good. And Jump C is interesting. So Jump C is very strong. Huge hitbox. But the bigger thing is the charge up. The charge up version. So this is round start, right? See how far this goes? You can do some interesting combos with it. There's a little bit of drip combos off of her charge Jump C. You can go really far with this normal and get it to hit, and it gives you a lot of untechable time. It doesn't have armor or anything on it, but it's quite good. Hey, Future Red here. I forgot to mention in the original recording of the video that she does have a 6C, which is her unique normal. Again, good in the corner, right? You get some extra combo extension off of it. And it goes quite far. It's not really good mid-screen though, but that's what it looks like mid-screen. Alright, back to President Red. Let's talk about our specials, right? First one is the keys. So you see the little thing next to her bar? That's her, basically her fireball meter. She has 10 per round. Every round she recharges back to 10. And she has a bunch of different follow-ups off of this. So first one is your A. Her A is slow, but it is plus 13, right? It's plus 13. It's crazy good. Her B1 is only plus 1, but it's quite fast, right? Much faster than her A version. She has air ones too, so her jump A goes kind of like in like a Akuma fireball fashion, right? Really close to them. And then her B goes a little bit farther, right? This is her, so this is her A, this is her B. Much difference a much bigger difference in travel time. And then her C, right? Her C has a second hit to it, right? It explodes on them. Same thing with the C jumping, which allows you to do some combos from far away. I don't know them, but you could do a couple things. You could do, I know for a fact, you can do this, right? And then you do charge jump C. I don't know if I can hit it though. I'm kind of bad at it, but there's a bunch of different shenanigans you do with it. And that one is plus 8. It's also plus. Her follow-ups though, right? So she can do key into key, right? So you can mix between the two. So you can do A key into A key, B key into B key, A key into B key, B key into A key. You can do any combination of those. You can also do A into C, but you can't do standing key into jump EX edge key, right? It has to be standing key into standing EX edge key. You can't do either. You can't do like one and then the other one jumping. And the other follow-up she has is her dash, right? So she has a dash follow-up to this. Like this. Oops. Like that. So this makes the move significantly less plus, or like in the minus, right? So this is plus 13 on block, right? But if you were to do the dash, it becomes -6. But it comes into a pressure game, right? Like it's hard to like see if you're doing stuff like this, or if you, right? Like her pressure game is quite scary because you don't know if they're gonna do it and then maybe cancel the super and then run up on you. Like there's some trickiness to it. But overall, the key is very strong. And then her EX key is probably one of her strongest, right? This is very, very good. It uses two keys and of course a moon gauge, but you can get some insane mix-ups off of this, like really, really insane. You can whiff it, right? I'll play a video right now that I put on Twitter earlier. The mix-ups are OD. But let's talk about the next special move, right? So next one is her pull, right? Her stat pull. So there's an A version and a B version. The A version has a follow-up, right, which gives you knockdown. Right, and you can do, of course, you can do into supers. Right, it gives you like a soft ground bounce to do supers. Her B version though gives you this longer bounce. So you can't really get mid-screen, but in the corner you get a much bigger combo. So the B follow-up is quite good in the corner. Mid-screen, not that much. It's like okay. And you can do them on whiff too. They're also activated on whiff or on block as well. Her C version, kind of similar to the B version. It's quite good in the corner. Gives you like this wall bounce that gives you extra stuff to do, right? And then her EX version is quite good as well. Or her Moonskill version, right? It pops you up, allowing you to get some extra combo damage from mid-screen and in the corner. So, and it's quite fast too. I believe it is... Actually, I gotta double check right now. What is it? It is 10 frames. It is a 10 frame spear. It goes quite far. Like, look how far this goes. Oh, not that far. Like about like a little bit past round start, like right here. And then of course, you know, you gotta adjust the combo if you're that far. But a 10 frame pull is quite powerful. If I can find it, if I can do the combo for it. It's hard to do. She has some links to her, so some of her combos are not super easy. Like they're easy, like input wise, but they have some links in them. But anyway, let's go to the next one. Next one is her DP move. It's not a DP, but it is DP input, right? And that's her slam. This is not an overhead, by the way. I know it kind of looks like an overhead. It just has a big vertical hitbox. It is not an overhead. She does have an overhead special move though, but this is not one of it. This move is pretty decent. It's some good combo fodder. The A version is the fastest, right? It's about, I can look up right now. It's 16 frames, but it's not that great. You get a bounce off of it. You get some super combos, but it's okay. The B version is what you're mainly gonna be using for combos and stuff like that, right? You get a nice big bounce for it. It's a lot slower though. It's 31 frames, but it does go farther, to be fair. Her C version gives you knockdown, which is good for enders if you want to tack on some extra damage. You get like a mix-up. And then her EX version is quite good. Kind of similar vein to the 4 BC. You get some combo. Right, you can do a bunch of different stuff with it. It goes quite far. Like a little, not like backdash distance, but like right here. This is about the max distance. Right, she doesn't have it in the air. Her only special move in the air is actually a key, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but she doesn't have any of these in the air. The next one is the DP style move, right? So 2-2. If you hold it, it becomes an overhead. All right, and it gives you extra hits. This is also a very good move into popping into Moonskill. You get like different mix-ups off of it. It's really good. Quite strong. Her B version does not have a overhead version. Only the A version does. They are -16 all of them besides the C version. The C version is actually more. C version is like 31. You can't jump cancel out of it. But it is invincible though. The C version is invincible. And for the Moonscale version, you can jump cancel out of it. It's not invul or anything like that, but kind of like similar vein to the Moonscale DPs, right? It could be good for anti-air, does have class streams on it. So you can use it to get away. Just to try to catch people out of the air. Also, it's not air unblockable. Unfortunately, I tried to I tried to troll you. It's not air unblockable. It'd be really good if it was, but sadly it's not. This one is though. Her 3BC, the overhead slam, is air unblockable. But all of them are actually, which is quite interesting. But yeah, this is not air unblockable or anything like that, but it does give you, obviously, cancel. You can do it to combos if you do hit it. I don't know a good combo for it, but you can figure it out. It's not kind of probably similar vein to that. It's unfortunately her jump C doesn't like ground bounce or anything like that on hit, but she probably gets like a small baby combo off of it. And the C version, like I said, invincible. Does not give you knockdown, unfortunately. The only one that really does give you knockdown is like is this one, really. This one also, depending if you're not far, I think, right? Yeah, if you're not like close to the corner, it will give you knockdown as well. But that's it for our special moves. Let's talk about the arc drive. Arc drive. Oops. He dashes up. It's not incredibly fast. I believe it is. Actually, I don't have the frame data for it yet. But it does go far. Right. I think it goes about like about here. I think a little bit shorter. Actually, no. It does. Does it go full screen? Actually, it does. It does basically. Okay, it goes full screen. But it is quite slow, as you can tell. But of course, invincible, right? It leaves you really close to them, and it does send them some decent travel away, right? Like I started from round start, and now I'm over here, which is pretty good. Pretty much I could talk about it. It's a good arc drive, right? It goes really far. It goes full screen. I thought it only went to like maybe about here, but it goes basically full screen. And then her last arc is her 3C. Pretty standard. Last arc. A lot of damage, of course. And that's pretty much it. So game plan wise, right? Her game plan, usually you kind of want to be fishing for these 2C, 5Cs, right? And because of the vacuum pull on the 5C, you can do some pretty over-exaggerated block strings, right? You can stay safe with the key, right? You can stay safe with this. I didn't mention, but this is safe, I believe. I'll double check just so I'm not mistaken. It is -4. So this one is -4 and the B one is -4. Not the follow-ups though. The follow-ups are a little bit unsafe. They are -6, but I mean, unsafe for a 5-framer, but they are pretty far away. So, and same thing with the B version as well. B version is also -6, and it does push you far away. So, punishable technically, but not by much in the game. So yeah, you can stay safe with this. You can stay safe with the key, right? Key is really plus. And then obviously, you can throw in extra keys, right? You can do dash up pressure. Her pressure game is really, really good. And also, you have to worry about this, right? This creates like insane mix-up game. Like you have to be worried about. Right? And is also plus, I believe. It is plus... +1. So it's not insanely plus, but it's kind of scary to be pressing something on +1, right? Because if you guess right, you get some fat damage, especially off of like a 2B or 5B, I believe. I think 5B reaches, right? Yeah. But off of Moondrive activation, this is like extremely scary. You have to deal with. If I can do it. You can do double overhead, stuff like that. And then also this too, right? Like I showed earlier, you get a lot of mix-ups. So she has a lot of good Moondrive activation special moves in general. And then her pressure game is really good. She has good buttons. I think she's extremely strong as a character, honestly. She has a fireball that's really powerful, right? And of course, there's a resource, right? Usually in fighting games, things that have like a resource attached to it, usually really strong. So definitely quite strong character, in my opinion. Really good buttons. Her damage is quite easy. Her combos are quite simple, honestly. But yeah, that's it for me. Enjoy some combos. Hopefully you guys learn a thing or two about Noel, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。